We all know that feeling when the screen turns to gold and we get excited for a second and then the wrong 5-star appears. And all our astrites we saved are gone in a flash. Losing a 50-50 sucks, even if you're free to play or spending on the game. But then it gets even worse because the whole patch feels pointless and we get annoyed and disappointed at the game. Because when we lost the 50-50, we also lost the version of the patch that we had built in our heads. And to fix this, we first need to understand why it feels so bad, and then just like in my other videos, we'll use a simple test to figure out how to enjoy the game again. Now, anyone who says don't worry about losing a 50-50, you're guaranteed, so look at the bright side instead. They're not wrong, the guarantee is great, but that doesn't really help us now. Because we're still pissed about not getting the character, and now the patch feels useless as well. And I can barely find anyone trying to talk about these issues so we can get back to enjoying the game. So if no one else is going to do that, then we'll do it here on this channel instead. And we can start by figuring out how to enjoy this patch again. Because the plan was never really just to press the button and win a gamble. It was to get the character, play the character, and then enjoy the patch with them. But now the first part is gone, and we can't just skip part 1 of the plan and pretend like nothing ever happened. And this didn't even start when the patch launched, it started when the character first was shown to us, usually through drip marketing or the live stream, and sometimes even earlier. Prolova, for example, showed up in 1.0 and didn't even release until 2.5. That is a long time to sit there and wait for a character. By the time a patch release, some of us have already farmed everything for our new character, and whether that's good or not doesn't really matter because people do it, okay? And screw the 6-month test, you know? The character passed the 6-year test already. And at this point, getting the new character wasn't just a part of the patch, it was the whole reason we wanted to launch the game. And Wuthering Waves patches go live at 5 in the morning for me, and it doesn't matter if I have to be at work at 7, I'm gonna sit there at 5 and play the new character because that is kind of the whole highlight of the whole patch for me. And I know I'm not the only one doing this, okay? You set an alarm to press a gacha button. It's a very important button, okay? Besides, you set an alarm to say whoosh, so... Well, at least this was the plan until the wrong 5-star appeared. And just like that, the thing we woke up early for, or spent weeks or even years waiting for, is over in a few seconds. The material we farmed, they're unused, and the gameplay we were expecting is missing. So now I'm sitting here, 5 in the morning, with no idea what I'm supposed to do next. And the thing is, we were going to spend the astrite anyways, but the problem is that we did spend them and the plan failed. And by this point, the character isn't just a thing inside the patch anymore, everything is built around them. And this is how one failed pull turns into a failed patch for us. Because the whole version we had planned started with the character. And when we look at the banner now and see that, wait, there is actually 20 days left, this is the exact moment that our gamer brains comes up with a brilliant idea of, don't worry, we can fix this. Man, this is getting way too dramatic, Belly. Look at the timer, there's plenty of time left. Now put on some cool music and let me fix this. And I'm gonna show everyone how we gacha gamers do things. Yeah, okay, sure man, we'll be the judges I guess. Yeah, let's bring Ameth now, no time to waste. Now, to be fair, he does have a point. There are astrites everywhere in the game, especially in a new patch. We have the endgame rewards, events, unfinished quests, explorations. I mean, achievement page, right? If we look close enough, we even find astrite hiding in the character skill training that people missed. Belly, do you see how much astrite you left here? It kind of feels like he just opened some hidden astrite vault on the account. So maybe he can save this. Look at how fast astrite counter is moving. But also, look at what it's actually doing right now. It almost feels like it turned the entire map into a giant astrite grind. He doesn't even see exploration anymore, he just sees an astrite route. A chest is 10 astrites. An achievement, that's another reward on the checklist. And a quest, it's an annoying clicking puzzle standing between him and the claim button. He won't even know what the quest is about. He just clicks until he sees astrites. But the counter is still going up and we are getting closer to our character, so it feels like the smartest option. But eventually there is nothing left on the checklist. I wouldn't call this a success, but every new astrite is one we don't have to buy. And when we're this close to the guarantee, I mean, it kind of starts feeling pretty easy to justify spending, you know, just this once. And there's nothing wrong with spending money on the game we enjoy, but spending because we stressed ourselves into feeling like this is the only way we can finish the plan can be the wrong reason to spend money. So how much did you get anyways? 20 pulls. Yeah, that's pretty good, it's pretty good. Told you. Gamer. Yeah. Thank you. You're welcome. Now I have next week's pulls today instead, and nothing left to do in the game. And that's kind of the problem. He didn't create new pulls, he just did today what I would have done over the week instead. Only he did it faster, stressed, and skipped through anything that got in the way. And I still don't have the character. But why did that have to ruin the whole patch for us? Okay, so we need to take a look at what actually happened here. Even if this looks good, because we got closer to the character, look at what this cost us. Those pulls could have saved us if we got lucky, but they didn't. And now we also rush through the new content trying to get them. So how are we supposed to enjoy the new character if we burn through the patch trying to get those pulls? The characters, they actually get reruns, but patches don't. And there's nothing wrong with finishing the whole patch in one day if that's how you like to play. The problem is when we rush through it just because of the banner instead of enjoying the patch itself. And now we also have two different problems. Because first we did lose the 50-50 and that sucked. But then we also ruined the patch ourselves, trying to save the original plan. Yeah, we get it. I ruined the patch for you, Belly, but you were teasing us a test to fix this. You know, from like the other videos. I kind of like those ones. Yeah, relax, man. We're getting there. So if we really think about why we wanted the character in the first place, it's most likely because we wanted to enjoy the new patch with them. They were supposed to make the new region and map more fun to explore. But that also means that those things must have had something of value for us in the first place for that to happen. The 50-50, that took the character from us, but we kind of added the whole patch to that result. And because we did that, we never even gave the patch a chance on its own. We already decided that it wasn't going to be fun before we even looked at what's still there. It doesn't mean that everyone's going to enjoy the new patch. Some people might only care about the character. It could have been the only reason they logged in today, and if the character isn't there, they don't want to play. But that's kind of the part we still don't know. So you guessed it, we need to figure this out with one simple test. Now we can finally use our test, and this time we're gonna call it the patch without them. For 1 minute, let's try to remove the character from the patch completely. Let's pretend the character never was announced. They have no trailer, they have no banner, just imagine that they were never going to be a part of this patch. The whole point is that there was never anything for us to lose here. And we're not asking if we still want to play without them, we're asking what would we do with this patch if we knew that the character didn't exist. And now let's look at the patch again. Does the new region look like a cool place that you want to explore? Were there events or specific bosses that you were looking forward to clearing? There might even be an older character that we love to play, but haven't gotten to use for a while. And I know a lot of people have their favorite characters that they barely play anymore. Maybe it's someone from 1.0 or 2.0 that we still love, but just never get to using. This gives us the perfect opportunity to bring them back and enjoy this patch with. And we're not trying to convince ourselves that everything is blissful and amazing and no one can say otherwise. We're just checking if there's anything in this patch that we could have cared about on its own. And then we just pick the parts that we would actually care about. Now we ask the final question again, is this enough to make us open the game, log in and have fun with the game? The answer can obviously be different for all of us, but if the answer is yes, then we know that this patch has more to offer than the character. And if the answer is no, this is still useful. It means that there is nothing here to force ourselves through. We can let this be a skip patch and come back when the game has something we actually want. Either way, we're answering based on the patch, instead of letting the failed pull decide the value of the whole patch. Reruns and guarantees are great bonuses, but they were never going to solve the real issue we had, how to enjoy the game after losing your 50-50. But now we know. Hey, you think Ameth hates me now? Why would she hate you? She's a character in the game, man. You remember what she said though, right?
Me? I just want a happy, carefree life.
She doesn't hate you. Okay, well I still think the people watching should watch a video above me if they don't want to stress through the game like I did. Or a wild random one above me.